With the upcoming release of the latest film in the Exorcist franchise, The Exorcist Believer, coming out in the UK this month.
Don't be scared.
We've met before.
I wanted to try something new for the channel and talk about a movie in a spoiler-free review, which is a cult favourite that I've always felt deserves a lot more attention. It's a work that also happens to be one of my personal all-time favourite movies. Director William Friedkin's The Exorcist, released in 1973, is considered by many to be one of the finest, if not indeed the finest, horror movie ever made. The movie was such a smash hit that elements of it remain in the public zeitgeist to this day. It's still getting new sequels, and after its success, its director had carte blanche to do whatever film project he wanted to do next. But not only was director William Friedkin given this opportunity, so was the novelist and screenwriter of The Exorcist, William Peter Blatty. So in this short episode, I want to take a look at director and writer William Peter Blatty's strange, unique, but staggeringly beautiful addition to the Exorcist universe, the Ninth Configuration. The Ninth Configuration is based on Blatty's tragedy/dramatic comedy novel, Twinkle Twinkle Killer Kane, and Blatty had originally approached Friedkin to make this movie before they worked on The Exorcist together. Blatty was best known for his comedy screenwriting, most famously working with comedy legend Blake Edwards and co-scripting the Peter Gunn movie and the Pink Panther film A Shot in the Dark.
What happened? What?
You fell off the sofa, you stupid.
I know I fell off the sofa, madame. There's no need to tell me.
Before he had made the move into horror with The Exorcist, and boy, did Blatty turn a corner. Blatty's comedy beginnings really show in The Ninth Configuration. As a novel, he had rewritten Twinkle Twinkle Killer Kane into a straight mystery of faith story and released it again as The Ninth Configuration. So there are actually two versions of the book out there, one with the more comedic elements removed, but if you can find any of them, both versions are unbelievably fantastic novels.
Darling, look at this. Did you bring any photographs, honey?
Blatty's strange relationship to the book, having two versions, would carry on into the movie, and through home video, DVD and Blu-ray releases, I have seen 3 different versions of the film, but all cut by the director himself. Legend has it, there are actually at least 7 versions of the Ninth Configuration that you can find out there.
Some Shakespearean scholars say that when Hamlet is pretending to be crazy, he really is crazy, correct?
That's right.
I don't want to go too far with this review, as I really want people to trust me and seek out this movie if you've yet to see it, as it's an incredible film. It has moments of perfectly timed laugh-out-loud comedy.
Don't blame me, I told them not to operate.
Including scenes of Jason Miller from The Exorcist and Joe Spinell from Maniac and The Godfather having profound discussions about casting Shakespeare plays
A chow.
starring a cast of dogs.
Do you understand that now, you dumb, stupid idiot? From now on, we do the scene my way.
But it also has some of the most disturbing and cathartic scenes of violence that I have ever seen anywhere committed to celluloid. The Ninth Configuration starts off as a light comedy, but by its 3rd act, it is transformed into one of the most emotional and cathartic films that I have ever seen. And Blatty, as director, makes this transformation absolutely seamless.
The essence of suicide is despair.
The essence of suicide is you don't collect the insurance.
If you enjoy the film and watch it again, on second viewing, you will begin to notice subtle clues and warnings of what is to come. And that is a masterful touch by the director and sets a tone and atmosphere for this work that I don't think you see in many other films.
Is there any news from Earth? Oh, sorry. Any letters?
Your planet has demanded your return.
This was William Peter Blatty's first feature film as director, and he would go on to direct just one more film later in his life, that being the very underrated Exorcist 3 Legion, which is to this day still one of the scariest films I've ever seen. In that regard, you could look at the Ninth Configuration as the second film in Blatty's trilogy of faith: The Exorcist, Ninth Configuration,
and I am willing to die for them. The Good Shepherd gives his life for his sheep.
and ending with Exorcist 3 Legion.
My God, help.
Have I helped your unbelief?
Oh, yes.
All three of these movies ask questions about the mystery of faith, and for me, this is especially true in the Ninth Configuration.
Some evolution of man and the world so unthinkably beautiful that it's worth all the pain of every suffering thing that ever lived.
Other than my comic novels, everything serious I wrote had to do with faith. It is an argument for God's existence, actually.
If you are wondering what the title of the film means, it is an equation that is said to prove the existence of God. And if that doesn't tell you this movie is going to be something different, I don't know what does.
If God exists, then he's a fake, or more likely a foot. A giant, all-knowing, all-powerful foot.
In a nutshell, the film's story is very simple. Toward the end of the war in Vietnam, soldiers and serving personnel are tested to see if they are faking their psychiatric disorders in order to get out of their military service. And they are tested in a beautiful Gothic castle in the Midwest. A new psychiatrist arrives at the facility, and upon meeting Captain Cutshaw, who is a patient at that facility, the two begin a theological battle centered on the existence of God.
You're the new boy, huh?
I'm Colonel Hudson Kane.
Do I call you Hud?
Try calling him Colonel.
Now, do you remember this guy from The Exorcist?
Well, actually, Father, we're pretty comfortable up there, at least compared to the Gemini and Mercury programs where they were tight for space. Hey,
I think we've got a guest.
You're gonna die up there.
Granted, we never actually find out his name, but in the Exorcist novel, he is named as Captain Cutshaw, the same character played by Wilson in the Ninth Configuration. And that is our main link to the Exorcist universe.
Cutshaw, the astronaut.
I would say yes.
In the vein of The Exorcist, this film's themes are very heavy, which again, I don't want to go too much into, because if anybody does take my advice and watch this masterful movie, I hope you to experience it the same way I did myself and go in with no idea of what to expect, because this movie simply has to be seen to be believed. It is an absolutely masterful work of comedy, drama, action, thriller. Well, it's hard to describe. This movie packs one heck of a punch, and in my opinion, the final moments are some of the greatest in cinematic history.
So how is it that there is love in the world? I mean, love as a God would love, and that a man will give his life for another, that there are altruistic acts, and this is a profound mystery.
So in celebration of The Exorcist Believer being released in UK cinemas, if you're an Exorcist franchise fan or just love outstanding theological thrillers about the mysteries of faith, check out William Peter Blatty's The Ninth Configuration, and hopefully, like me, you will be blown away by this cult classic. Thanks for listening.